Welcome back to another video. I'm pretty sure I've deleted probably 60 hours of footage on this car because I was planning on initially scrapping it. I have new plans for it now. We'll see how those plans go. But I think I'm actually going to bring this car back to life. It will not look like a full car like that. I'm going to strip it down to the absolute bare minimum, including the outside. So doors, windows, everything gonna come off, cut them out. And I think I'm just gonna exocage this car, because I'm kind of tired of looking at the K24 and transmission and everything sitting here on the pallet. So rebuild this, exocage this, and have a stupidly fast car and just something to play around with. I've already cleaned out the interior. I was using it as just parts bin, basically. Yeah, there's still more stuff to clean out, but for the most part, everything's out of it. All sitting over here on the floor now. Most of this stuff is from either this car or that car or that car. But, there's axles, frame bracing, dash, core support. There's spare headlights and taillights that are just going to go in the trash because they all suck and are cracked or too hazed to be restored. Headliners there, folded up in pieces. There's a bunch of other stuff that is currently in the trunk of that car to go into a trash can, dumpster, whatever. So start pulling as much off of this as I can. Everything is off the car that can be unbolted, other than the trunk and fuel door release cable, which literally would take like 2 seconds to take off. So doors are off, door hinges are off, hood hinges are off. Yeah. So next we're going to take out windows, rear windshield, and then start cutting her up. I got this little tool from Harbor Freight for window removal. Just a little blade on a handle and a pole. That way you can pull through the sealant and cut them out. So we'll see how that works, and then once I get those removed, I'll bring it back in when I start cutting. Well, that didn't go as planned. It worked okay in some spots. Like, I get this edge here. I got this edge here. As you can tell, there's no window there anymore. I got part way up here, but it's just too thick, and you're supposed to do the cut in steps, and you can't do steps here. Realistically, I probably need to get the wire where you have one person inside, one person outside, and just kind of saw your way through. I'm a one-person wrecking crew right now, so that wasn't really an option. Got started to go up here, got a little bit way down here, got literally half an inch into here, and it just shattered. So I took a mallet and I just kind of tapped it all the way along the seam, all the way around. Well, this side, here, and that side, and it just fell in. Obviously, there's a lot in there that you get cleaned out. I'll go through. Obviously, you get some gloves, pick up the bigger chunks, and then once I get the bigger chunks out, I'll get the shop vac and shop vac the rest of it out of there. Time to start cutting. All right, let's get this roof off. See if I can do it by myself. All right, well, she's now a convertible. See, not all of this is cleaned up very great, and I'll have to go through. Obviously, this whole edge is just not even close to straight. Majority of all of this has still got to come off, but the main part is gone. So that was fun. The rest of it should be a lot easier now. As you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers to go through. There's 3 up here, 2 there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers here, 2, 3 layers, 4 layers back here on both sides. So that went through a lot of blades, but the rest of this should go substantially quicker. Because everything else now, other than the door jambs here, are 1 or 2 layers thick. Like right here, I can see that's 3 layers already, just right there. So that'll be fun, but she's convertible. I like it. It's just ridiculous. So next thing I'm gonna do, pull the hinges, the door latches off. I've already piloted all the spot welds all the way around here. So that's what we're going to do next, is drill out all the spot welds like I've already done on a couple of them here, and try and get this outer skin off as best as I can. Down below on the pinch weld is going to suck. We'll do our best to get it off. As far as like all this stuff up here goes, I want all of this gone other than this top layer here. And then this top layer, it'll just either get, well, the cage will get either butted right up against it for a little bit of extra support for the windshield, or it'll get welded to the cage. That way it's nice and rigid. But we'll see when we get to that point. For now, we got a lot of spot welds to drill out. I think there's, I don't know, maybe 50 on this side. I haven't even touched the other side yet. And that's just for this piece here. Not including, like I said, the pinch weld. So we'll get to drilling. This is just one side. 81 spot welds later. 82 maybe. I kind of lost count. I know there's at least 80, and I haven't even taken all of it off. This is just for the door jamb. Between all of the ones around the edge here, you got 3 here, and then there's 1 over here where the door striker thing goes that keeps the door open. Yeah. I now have this piece off of the car. I ended up just taking the angle grinder right down here behind my feet, cutting this edge all the way down, and then cutting all the way along here, and cutting at the bottom as well. All of this obviously will get cleaned up. I'm not going to have just a lip sitting here like this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know yet. I may cut this skin out. I may cut this one out and just leave this inner piece, and then have the cage come up from the bottom up through here where the A-pillar would be, and then up across, and then obviously go forward. But we'll get to that point at some point. This is just the driver's side so far, and I've spent just today alone 4.5 hours on it. So yeah, probably got another 4 hours in just taking the roof off, just because there's so many layers to get through. So gonna keep at it. I'll end up taking this, or one of these, because this one's pretty worn out along the edge there. Going through, cleaning up all these spot welds, just smoothing them down. We're gonna keep this piece here, and this piece where the seatbelt bolts in, and then we'll plate off the top. I think is going to be the plan, is just plate off the top, and then we can do the main hoop from this point to that point and go from there. But we'll see. I've got honestly a while before I even get to worrying about that. I may cut this down to this level here on both sides, just so I know, just so I have a nice flat level across to put a plate on, and it's above this hole here to mount the seat belt. So that's probably going to be the plan on the B pillar. Just leave that main section, cap it off so I can put factory seat belts in it if I want to. Obviously with the cage I'll probably end up putting 5 points as well, but just regular street driving, I'd rather have regular seat belts than a 5 point every day. Well, not every day, obviously. I wouldn't drive it that much, but got this pillar cut down to where I want it. I did just cut it at that line like I was talking about, and then I took wherever it's at, angle grinder. Yeah, angle grinder over there with a flopper disc on it, or grinding disc on it, whatever, and I smoothed it all down. So it's pretty much nice and level. I went a little hard on this back edge here, where this hole is, but that's not a big deal. That can be filled in. I also took a template. Yeah, there we go. So, kind of just took this here, put it on top, traced around it. It's not perfect, but it's close enough to where I didn't use this. Well, I already did use this. I traced it out on the sheet metal I have here, which should be nice and thick enough. Cut this out, and then we can use that to cap this off. Obviously, once I cut it out, I'll have to grind it down to the absolute proper shape, and then we'll get it welded in. I don't know if I'm gonna do the welding, or if I'm gonna have a buddy that knows how to weld come over, or pay somebody to do it. Just because I would like this to be properly welded and not just a hack job. But got this one done. I'll have to kind of tack all of this back together back here. If I take the C-clamp off, this piece on the outside just kind of flops around. And then I also already got this side off as well. Obviously cut through here, cut this piece off like I did on that side. And then metric crap ton of spot welds later. This side's off. I did the same thing as the other side. Cut across the top, cut across the front, cut across the bottom, pulled it off. I've already started cutting this. So I got all the way around on this side done for the most part. And you go across the top, cut there, and then across the front here, got some spot welds. I don't know if I'll drill those out or if I'll just cut it as clean as I can, then sand it smooth just to keep that extra layer of rigidity, but we'll see. I have decided kind of that I'm going to use the factory dash bar, which is over there in the pile. I'll just cut everything off of it that isn't needed, and then we'll put it back in. So it's going to need a dash bar anyways. I might as well use the one that already has all the mounting points on it, instead of creating or putting in another one, having to cut the mounting points off of that and then weld it to the new crash bar, or dash bar, not crash bar. So it just kind of simplifies the process a little bit. Weight wise, I'm not really going to be saving any weight between that and just a bar and then adding all the brackets back onto it. So that just makes it simpler and a little less complicated. Another small update. Haven't really cut a whole lot more off as of right now. I'm working on getting this piece off on the other side at the moment. But mainly, I went through, I cleaned up all the spot welds on both sides. As you can see, no more spot welds there. Nice and smooth all the way around on this one. And then same on the other side over here. Went through and all of them were nice and smooth. Some of them I went too deep when I initially cut them. So I'm gonna need a little bit of body filler in there. Just a little bit of glazing putty to fill those little divots in. If I really want to go that far, but we'll see. Like I showed you before, I already had the bottom and all this cut all the way down. I started cutting here as well, and then I've got it cut all the way across the top here down to this point, and I've gotten the front edge off here. So I got all these drilled out. I got new bits, and I went way too deep on all of these, but not a big deal. I'm gonna pretty much sand this smooth as best as I can after I get it cut down the side here, and then get all of this off. So yeah, we're making progress, but it's slow. Lots of cutting, lots of sanding, grinding, whatever, to smooth stuff out, but slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. A-pillar on the passenger side is pretty much done. You see I got all of it off down through the front here. I got this top edge cut pretty much even with the edge of the windshield. I'd already cracked it, so I pretty much just ran the angle grinder with the cutoff wheel right against the edge of it and just cut it straight down. I could take a little more off if I really wanted to, just to get it fully even. There's like a couple millimeters here and there. It's not perfectly smooth, but again, not too worried about that. Well, it died at some point during the time lapse, but as you can see, I got the main portion out here on the A-pillar. The big chunk's gone. Do have a little bit of surface rust down here, but nothing major. This can all be cleaned up before getting painted, all of that. Got a little deep into there, but again, not a big deal. That can be tack welded back in. Actually, I don't even know if you can see it. There we go. Yeah, right here. Yeah, a little deep there. Again, like I said, not a big deal. Got a little nick there from, going a little too deep, but again, not a big deal. I gotta get this edge all cleaned up. This, I'm not gonna try and grind through. I'm gonna do the same thing as I did on the other side. I'll come through with the angle grinder and just cut it as close as I can, basically to the hole, and from hole to hole. And then this will come out like I did on the other side. Actually, how did I do the other side? Did I just come straight down right there? Yeah, okay. So I'll just come straight down to this point here, like I did on this side. Yeah, I'm just come straight down, get as close as I can to this flat edge. And then from here, we'll cut it across to the hole, then hole to hole, hole to hole, hole to hole, all the way down until I get to here. And then this will be spout weld drilled out after I get this off. This will have to be spout weld drilled out as well. This is going to stay. That's a pretty solid structural piece. And then, like again, like the other side, all this will get ground down. So, more grinding, more cutting, more fun. For the most part, all the grinding and cleanup on this side is done. I got this top edge here taken care of, front edge here taken care of, all the way down through here. And then I cut this at like roughly a 60-degree angle. I have the bar run on the outside of this. I originally was going to have it run on the inside. With this bracket here, it's just easier to run on the outside, and then being on the outside is also going to be at the same width or maybe a little wider than the B pillar that's going to stay. So that way this is the main point of impact if it gets hit from the side or anything stupid like that. I'm going to do this same thing on the other side eventually. Right now I'm still finishing. The majority of the grinding is done, but I got to do this top edge here, get it all the way to the edge of the window like I did on the other side. There's still a good quarter inch or so, maybe half an inch at some points where this has to be ground down. I've got up to here, and then I ran out of grinding wheel. So yeah, I need to go get some more grinding wheels. Again, the 40 grit that's on here right now does fantastic, but like I said, I've used up majority of that already doing all the other stuff. Yeah, we're slowly, very slowly, because this is now day 7 of me cutting on this thing. Obviously not 7 full days work. 7 to 5, 7 to 6 pretty much every day, and then Thursdays and Sundays are my only days to like actually spend hours and hours and hours out here, where I think tonight I spent maybe 2 hours on it, if that, and most of it was cutting this out and then grinding this edge here. So yeah, it's a lot, and from everything I found on the internet, I have not been able to find a single 8th gen that's been exo-caged. I posted a bunch of like 8th gen Facebook groups and track groups, and I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to do this. Why? I don't know. Why I'm doing it is because of this damage back here, and it's cheaper to cut it up and cage it than it is to fix it. Alright, this can be the last update for this video. I think I'm at a good stopping point to end part 1 of the first 8th gen go-kart exo cage in the world. that I know of. So, yeah, made good progress. Obviously, roof gone. That was the first thing I did. Already showed you that. Got both of the A-pillars cut off all the way down. I think I already showed you this, but I could be wrong. I did cut this back at like a 60-ish degree angle, just so that when I put the bar around the outside, it's got a shallower angle to come in here. I still need to do the same on the other side, but whatever, that takes a couple of minutes on the other side. This one was a pain in the ass because it's got it's got this secondary bracket on the inside as well. Obviously cut some of this out here, but that was only so I could get to the A-pillar. Got this templated off. Got some metal over there that I've already put the template on. I just need to cut it out, get it down to size, and then tack it in, and then I'll probably have somebody come in and actually weld it properly for me. But we'll see. As you see, lots and lots and lots of stuff cut off of the car. I have not weighed any of it. I thought about getting the scale out from over back there somewhere, like picking up the roof and grabbing the doors and all the other metal I've taken off of the car, but that's so much work. I would just rather wait until I'm done with it, get it on some scales, and see how much the final product weighs. If I had to guess, I'm going to say we're going to get close to right at 2,000-ish pounds. The roof without the glass and sunroof, which I know the sunroof with frame alone is like 45 or 65 pounds. It was a long time ago that I took that out. That was probably 50, 60 pounds, not including the glass, because I had taken the glass out so I could cut it without cutting glass. The doors are probably, another 50-ish pounds a piece. That's just a guess from taking them off the car and carrying them over there, how much they felt like they weighed. And then obviously A-pillars, that was a lot because there was multiple layers there. It wasn't a whole lot back here with the quarter panels or the rocker panels. Those were relatively light. That's all pretty thin metal here, so good progress so far. Like I said, it's gonna be the end of this one. Hope you guys are enjoying this process as much as I am, because not including the 60 to 80 hours of dewiring and seam sealer and sound editing the car that I've already done before I started this process, I've already probably got another 30-ish hours into it just with cutting off the roof and the A-pillars. So yeah, it's a lot. The rest of it should be substantially easier because, like I said, all this has got multiple layers of metal. This has got multiple layers of metal. Where all this back here, you got, maybe 2 or 3 layers, but they're all thin. They're not thick like this stuff is here. I'm pretty sure this will unbolt, but I also could be wrong. I don't know. I think, actually no. All this would have to come off and then spot weld drill the back end. So that'll just get cut off as well. But with that, that's going to be the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time when we get to more cutting.